Hello and welcome to Space Engineers. We are doing a new series called Experiments. This is where I, in my crazy lab of random experiments, will answer the questions that nobody else has ever asked, because it really doesn't matter. Now today's experiment is a simple one. We're going to be testing something that I have actually wanted. Is one battery's worth of power burn the same amount with two engines versus one engine? Now in theory, this ship, once we cut the thing off, will burn through more power because technically there's two engines running, and I believe engines are actually heavier than individual blocks. So, we double check that actually. If we go info, does it tell me the weight? Nope, it just gives me the shape. It does not tell me how heavy it is. Fair enough. If we go over to number 2. Nope, just the triangles. We can actually check that. Let's do this part first. Because we're missing just one plus a battery. And then an engine, so we'll go just here, and then if we go control seat and set that there and go like that. So with one engine, this ship weighs 11,945 kg.
Fuel critical.
And if we were to add a second engine and take rid of one block, because that's the same weight, this is now 16, yeah. So it is more heavy. So this one is heavier, but it has two engines. My question is, what lasts longer? Is it better to have more engines, even if the ship is light enough to be held by one engine? Now, to prove the test is fair, we have 900 kilowatts in this battery. And we have 900 kilowatts in this battery. The question is, does the two engines spread out burn through more fuel to the amount of output that is required for them, or because it's a similar-ish weight, if only slightly heavier by the weight of its own engine? Or is one engine, to try and get the exact weight, more efficient? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the battery, we're going to cut the pole, and then we'll time this one. And then we'll do it to the same as this one, and we'll see which one's longer. Alrighty, so if we go cut, and if we go, we're gonna have to be very quick with this because it will start draining the second that we go. There we go. So it's flying now. I am hungry even though I have hunger wolf, which is kind of weird. Anyway, so there we go. So we apparently have 2 hours of fuel left, which is actually quite a lot. It's longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay. So we'll set this one. I have the timestamp on the recording of exactly when I cut the power, or when it started flying. So we'll start this one at the same time, and then we'll compare. And we'll have a different time. Where is this one? It's right there. Okay. Ooh. Hopefully that was similar enough. So let's see. Is it? I'm going to assume this one's also 2 hours then. Yeah. So it's currently. Current output's 430.36. Current output is 557.53. So it is actually less efficient. So if a ship can be held by one thruster, it's better to have the one thruster from a power standpoint. This was going to be a time lapse, but we have answered this question extraordinarily fast. But that does bring me on to a new question. What about a new battery? So if we add a second battery onto these ships, that will increase the weight, but that should also decrease the output. So it's 285 and 28504, yep. And that's now 34861 each, which is actually higher. It is now outputting more because we were at 500 and something. I can't remember the exact number, and I don't have it written down. Should have written it down. I'm a bad scientist. Yeah, because it was 3. We can actually just get rid of the battery and find out. So, because 300 600, and yeah, we're at 557. So actually having 2 batteries is less efficient overall. That's surprising. So there's a minimum burn amount that happens with the batteries. And then it burns those evenly. So having 2 batteries when 1 battery works is actually less efficient. So less is more. This isn't the longest of videos. Honestly, I was expecting us to actually have to time it. I forgot that the timer was just literally given to you, and it gives you the exact numbers. So 2 batteries is less efficient than 1 battery. Though it does up the hourage because there's technically more power, but it burns through more power than if there was just 1 battery there, percentage-wise. So stuffing a ship with loads of batteries and loads of engines is actually a terrible resource. You want as few engines and batteries as possible to meet your minimum needs. And you actually want a way to turn them on and off. Because if you're doing like a cargo ship, you want to turn off the engines when the cargo ship is empty and turn them back on when you need the extra weight when it's full. But hey, that's just the first episode. So I do have a few more exciting experiments planned. Honestly, I thought this was going to take more time. But yeah. So next week, because that's when our next experiment video comes out, our lovely video is going to be, we're going to be testing the different engine weights. So we can see that 1 engine holds up whatever weight this is. We're going to be building these ships up more and more until we can see how many 1 engine of every size and how much weight that can physically hold. Now the way we're going to do that, I'll give you a little hint, is we're going to use large cargo containers. So instead of just building a massive pillar of blocks, we're going to build large cargo containers, and we're going to do every engine. So we're going to do all the... Again, still hungry. Again, I have food off. Why am I getting hungry? We have... We'll be using the atmospheric, the hydrogen of both sizes, and the ion. I might use some of the decorative blocks just for fun, but they don't actually provide any additional weight. So this should be fun. We can see exactly how much weight is the optimal amount. With the hydrogen engine that we'll be using instead of a cargo container with weight, we're going to be using hydrogen with ice. And we'll just be upping it because we need the hydrogen tank anyway. And that's an unfair advantage or disadvantage to the... Well, I suppose the weight will still be the same. They'll just have to start at a higher weight. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week. If you have anything you'd like me to test, actually, please feel free. And by that, I mean, please leave it in the comments below. I just, wow, blanked out there. Alrighty. Bye-bye. And then if we put this block like that, there we go. Now we have a more science-y... I've realized that it's an awful lot like a Subnautica style building.